Good morning, you guys. It is the last day of our Design Suite Maker Conference. I have some Design Suite alumni with me today, and I'm so excited for them to show you what they're going to be presenting in today's Maker Conference. Some of them actually have already presented, but you can still get their freebies. So if you're like, oh, I really want that, I wish I could get that freebie, they're all available on the freebie page. So I'm really excited. We're going to go around and we're going to do introductions. So if you don't know these folks, you can get to know them a little bit better. Let's kick it off with Judi. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody about the project you've got? And I'm going to make you a little bit bigger here, Judi.
Oh, bigger.
Great. Yes, because your project, we want everyone to see that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can bring it closer to. So this is the project I presented today. I'm Judi from J. Marie Design Studios. I put my my name on the screen because I chose to spell out my first initial as J-A-Y, and that confuses people. So I wanted to make that clear. If you wanted to find me, you'd find me at J. Marie Design Studio. But this is the project I did. It's a little lighted luminary. I'm afraid my battery might be running down in my lights, but it's a fun little centerpiece for your table. And not only can you use it for birthday and put your little astronauts in the windows, but you could also use this for, I don't know, I suppose 4th of July or New Year's or whatever. And it also comes apart, and you can fold it down to store it. So it's kind of nice that way. I put it on.
So pretty, Judi. What a pretty project. Are they doing that with a die cutting machine?
That I used my die cutting machine, yes. And I have given all the files for it and a bunch of really fun freebies. And it's also available in my Silhouette design store shop. And so I was with Design Suite Mastermind, but I recently graduated, and I'm out on my own. I've still got my toes in the water with the Mastermind, the marketing.
Yeah. So Judi is in our MCM program. That's our Marketing for Creatives program. But yes, she is recently graduated, and we're so very, very proud of her. So we love this. So good. Cassie, do you want to talk about your project?
Hi, yes. So my project is an SVG file for the You Have a Good Heart shaker card. This is just a real fun card that you can give to anybody for any reason. This was one of the freebies that was from the first day of presentation. So I hope you all were able to grab it.
Yeah, so fun. Cassie, will you tell them a little bit about yourself? And I love your heart and talk about because you've got all your science stuff behind you, which is so incredible.
So my background is I used to be a middle school science teacher. And after my youngest child was born, I decided to stay home with her. She had some extra special needs. And so I was able to really dedicate myself to, bringing her up the way that we wanted to, which meant my career had to take a hold. And now that kids are a little bit bigger, I was able to kind of get back out into the career field, which is how I ended up finding the Design Suite and Carina. And so I'm still sharing my science, just in a very different format. I've always had this creative side to me. And now, designing SVG files. My store is called Benchmark Boutique, and I'm out there, on Etsy in the Silhouette Design Store.
Perfect. So good. Will you hold up your shaker card again? Because the name of it may be misleading because you might be thinking you're going to get a regular heart. But will you tell about why you chose this?
So, like I said, I was a science teacher, so I'm always trying to find a way to work science and nature into designs. I have a life science background, so I tend, as you can see from the wall behind me, I tend to lean life science. I just really wanted to, share a little bit of anatomy, physiology, you know, we all need to think about our cardiovascular health and how our bodies work. And it's a sweet sentiment, but it's also an educational sentiment. So I thought it was a good combination.
So unique. I love it so much, Cassie. Thank you for sharing that. Cassie, your presentation was on Monday, though. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So you might not be able to see your presentation, but you can still grab her freebie from the freebie page. So if you want it, please go check it out. And of course, those of you who have the VIP or the all access pass, then you should be fine because you can rewatch, also get the all access pass freebies from Cassie as well. All right. So good. Elise.
Hi, I'm Elise Celluci, and I live with my husband, our 2 girls, and my dog Tucker. And I, for my project, which I don't have in front of me because it's a print-on-demand project, and I don't always print everything I make, or I'd have it all over the house. But mine was a mug on Zazzle. So in my presentation, I show you how to create a ping in, I believe it's in Adobe or Affinity Designer, and then take that and put it into Zazzle and sell actually on Zazzle, or you can print it for yourself too and have it come to your home.
Yeah, so very cool. We haven't had a lot of POD this session. So if you are interested in print on demand, Elise's presentation is today. If you want a little background on POD. POD is a really interesting way to run a business. It's a little bit different than some other design business techniques. So I think you guys will really love this presentation. Elise, where can people find you?
So I have the most I have is on my Etsy store, which just, you can search me, Elise Celluci. And then I also have a website, elisecelluci.shop. And I'm slowly trying to bring everything on Etsy over, but it's taking me some time. Yeah. So everything, most of it is on Etsy. And I just really am starting to get more and more into POD because I think my husband would divorce me if I got like something else that I would take up space in our house, and I would buy tons of stuff to go with it. So I was like, a compromise was doing print on demand. So we wouldn't have all that cluttering our house. And I wish I could do it. But I also don't think I have the time where I could print it and then sell it. So this just worked out easier for me.
Yeah. Which is what we hear from a lot of you guys, right? Like that extra piece of shipping and sending out is a difficult piece for physical products.
Yeah, it's so nice to have somebody else take care of it all for you. There is still some headaches where people come back and they're like, oh, it didn't ship or it came cracked. There's a little bit of that, but other than that, it's just a smooth process.
Yeah, I love it. So good. Okay, I'm going to pull all of us back on again. Because this is our Unplugged episode, I prepared 3 questions to ask these guys so that we can learn about them a little bit more. Also want to acknowledge all the good mornings in the chat. Hi, Mary and Shanna, Susie, Christine, Becky, Leah. So glad to have you guys here. Thanks for joining us live. We want to know in the chat how you would answer these questions as well, because they're kind of fun and you can get to know all these ladies a little bit better. Okay. Oh, you know what? I have to do announcements. I just realized. I was like, I'm just going to go for it. Okay. So real quick announcements, you guys. This is our final day of the Design Suite Maker Conference. The presentations you are going to see today, I'm just going to tell you really quick. Jennifer Kistler, Be a Star gift giver with a 3D gift box or gift card holder. Susie is today. You guys saw her yesterday on the live. So Susie Logan, how to create a revolving spooky Halloween themed shadow caster. Rabia Belils, she has a sewing tutorial. So Sew It Begins, 24 Sacks Till Christmas Advent. Analia Williams, how to make a birthday cake gift card holder. Elise is today. Design and list your first Zazzle product. Cheryl Kelly will be doing the Art of Explosion scrapbooks. Denise Levy, the Red Cardinal 3D box card. Jeannie Dickinson, Everyday Angles in Thread and Paper. Anna Schaefer, Stitch Sentiments. Randall Smith, laser cut creativity, make your own DIY paint kit with single line designs. And she was on our YouTube live yesterday showing some of her projects. Julie Thompson is doing a Christmas pop-up card. She also has our bonus, how to make gluten-free, I believe, cinnamon rolls. So if you want to go check that out. And then Shara Morton, Enchanted Carousel, a magical 3D craft tutorial. So we have some really fantastic presentations today. It is completely free for the next 24 hours. We will be closing everything up tomorrow at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. But our last YouTube live will be tonight, and I will be going live by myself to talk to you guys about some things that happened in Korea and Japan that I didn't get to share online. So I think you guys will really like it. So that is our schedule for today. It should be a really great day. Lots and lots of Design Suite alumni today in their stuff. A couple of my coaches today. And then, of course, this fantastic group here are all alumni. So fun. Okay. All right. Our first question of the day. And I would love to hear in the chat what you guys think this would be. So if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? All right. I cannot wait to hear what you guys would say in the chat. I don't know if I have one. I am actually hungry right now. And the thought, I got Charlie off to school and then I was like, oh, going on to a YouTube live. So I didn't get around to eating. Do any of the three of you want to start on this one? Do you have a food?
I will.
Oh,
Spaghetti
go.
meatballs.
Spaghetti and meat. It's like a classic. Yeah.
I didn't hear. What was it?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Ooh.
As an Italian, you gotta love it.
Well, that's cheating. That's two foods.
With a meal.
A meal. We'll take it. We'll take it. I'll allow it.
Oh my gosh, that's the best of both worlds right there.
It's true. Judi, what would you do?
Well, this is hard because I like me some salty and I like me some sweet, but I have to have my protein. So I'm thinking prime rib.
Whoa! Judi's like fancy. She's like, I will be having prime rib for the rest of my life. Oh, that's so good, Judi. I love it. Like, do you like prime rib? I'm assuming you love prime rib like now.
Oh, yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I served it up to you,
Oh.
do you either of you think between spaghetti meatballs and prime rib, like you would be sick of it after a certain amount of time?
I don't know. I could eat pasta breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
It's kind of hard to be tired of prime, you know?
I love it. Cassie, what do you think you would do?
Well, I'm not going to go prime time like Judi, but I'm going to go with a salad. It's a good vehicle food where you can customize it a lot of different ways. So even though it's the same thing, you can make it your own way.
Oh, I like Cassie thought outside the box on that. I was like, if it's a meal, I think I'd do mashed potatoes and fried chicken. I really love fried chicken. But I like the idea of salad because I'll tell you what, when I was in Japan, Yanni and I got to the point where we're like, we just want a salad because we were eating so many fried things, and so much protein. And I was just like, I don't want to eat any more ramen. I was just like, I just want a salad. Like, it is funny how we live off the variety of life, right? So it would be rough. You guys, I am loving these answers in the chat. Leslie says pasta. Amy says pesto. Sarah, I didn't know this about you. Chips and salsa. That's an interesting choice. Christine says potatoes. Analia says cheese. Just any kind of cheese, like brie, cheddar. Like, what kind of cheese are we talking? Or you just like cheese? Like, as long as it's cheese, we're good. Let's see. I think this is Katie. She said pizza. Mary Garcia also said cheese. Debbie says pizza. And then I like her emoji, like for steak. I love it. So good. Susie just asked, does Pepsi count? I could drink the same thing every day. Oh my gosh. Stewed chicken scallopini with angel hair
Oh,
pasta.
good one.
That's
Yum.
good. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Yum. Fried chicken. Yeah. I like
Mhm.
fried
Can't go
chicken.
wrong.
So Mary says meal would be seafood enchiladas.
I never
Might be,
had that. I would love to try it though.
well, that sounds amazing. Colleen says soup. Can you do the same thing with salad as soup where you could have whatever soup? See, I would choose that as well. Like if I could choose,
Yeah.
it's like a mix. Yeah. Elise says all the
All the
cheese. So good. So good. Okay, here is our next question. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say in the chat about this. What was your childhood dream job? Your childhood dream job. I was just thinking about this and I have a few. Some of it I get to do in real life, so that's pretty lucky. So, Judi, you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, sure. When I was in high school, my parents had a showroom for interior designers. Interior designers would go to their place and they would choose the carpeting and the upholstery fabric and whatever for their clients and take the samples around and show people. And it was sort of a kind of a, I don't know, it was just racks of things, and it wasn't a real pretty place. It was more utilitarian, but they had these big windows in the front, and I wanted to dress the windows like a department store. I wanted to be the window dresser. And
so like the display, like you wanted to do the display, like the anthropology display that they do.
Yeah. I wanted to do because they had some interesting carpets and they had some pretty furniture in there, and some interesting pieces that I wanted to display in the window and, make it, have some curb appeal, because you look in the window and it was just like, oh, what is this place? So, it never came about, but I wanted to be a window dresser.
It's so funny as a child that you thought that, because I would have never come up with that, like ever, which is ironic because the other day I was thinking about so my daughter built, all on her own, because we don't do any paper mache at our house, but I'm very proud of her. She has a whale shark theme in her college dorm. She just moved there as a freshman. And she built on her own a 3D whale shark. So like she built out the cardboard, she had it laid out. And I was thinking, oh, that's going to be it. And then I saw that she paper mache the whole thing and made it super 3D, and it's like hanging from the wall. And I was thinking, wow, I did a mistake in this barn, because if you can see here, I'll turn it so you guys can see this. This is our dishing the tea area. And I was like, I should have cut a really big window outside of my barn so I could have done window displays right there as you looked into the house. And I was like, I want to be, I like what you call it, a window dresser. I was thinking, I want to be an anthropology, like window display person. So that's so funny that you actually thought of that.
God, we're sisters.
Love it. So good. Cassie, what did you want to be as a kiddo?
Well, I know this is going to be super surprising to everyone. I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Did you grow up with animals?
I did. So my childhood was kind of divided into, like, the first half, I grew up as a farm kid on a farm, very rural life. And so whenever we had cattle, and whenever the veterinarian came to the farm, something was interesting always happening. So I like to be the little shadow for the vet and see what was going on. And the vet also would sometimes have like a coloring book for, maybe it was a vaccine or something, and then it would explain the benefits of the product and like how it helped the animals to have a healthier life and blah, blah, blah. And I just remember getting that coloring book, and it was just like solid gold, and like looking at the pictures of like immune systems and being like, yes. So, like Judi, the seed was planted at a young age for design.
Love it. That's so good. I think veterinarian feels like a classic childhood. Like that's the thing I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
So good. But you didn't stray very far. You're in the life sciences.
Yeah. I realized as I got a little more wisdom under my belt, perhaps I didn't want to go inside the bullpen and work that.
Yeah. Wise decision. Elise, how about you?
So mine is not as creative as my daughter. She wants to be a ninja. But I always wanted just to be a mom. That's what I wanted. And then because they made me pick a career, I always said teacher. Because I always liked little kids.
And you're a mom. So like, do you feel like you fulfilled your childhood dreams?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I love it. That's so good.
I wait to have them, but they were definitely worth it.
Oh, I love that. In the chat, I love seeing all the stuff. Just like you, Elise, Katie says being a mommy was a thing she wanted to do. This does not surprise me about Sarah. She says dance teacher. That's really good. Christine, to be a fine artist. It's been a lifelong adventure that started when I was 5. I love this because I think a lot of us wanted to be ironically, I didn't want to be an artist. So I'll tell you guys what my childhood, it's actually rather surprising. Amy says to be an artist, which is not the path I went, but I'm finally getting there. Yes, you are, Amy. Colleen says to be an artist. Lots of artists. This is awesome, Leah. Training astronauts and researching how space impacts the human body. I mean, that's specific. That's so good. So good. Okay, I will tell you what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a playwright. Isn't that so funny? Either that or a professional Barbie dress. So
the creative route.
It is the creative route. I spent a lot of time in my closet writing plays. So that's what I remember my childhood being. And then my mom gave us full Blanche cart with her sewing machine. And so I would make a lot of Barbie clothes. And when I say a lot of Barbie clothes, I mean really terrible Barbie clothes, but I just thought I was awesome. So,
I used to make troll clothes.
Like the trolls that have like the rainbow hair. That's tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
my mother made clothes for my Barbie.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. My mom made clothes for me. Like my first dance, my mom made my dress. We went to the store, we picked the fabric, and she made the dress. We physically just didn't have the money for a lot of clothing. Like, so it was, if I was going to get something special, we were going to have to do it on the dime, right? Mm-hmm. So I always appreciated that about my mom. She tried really, really hard. And she was, like most sewers, just because she's Chinese, she had just she's from Malaysia. And so she just, I don't know if she had a sewing machine in Malaysia. So I think when she got one here, she just experimented until she could figure it out. Ironically, my mom, and maybe this is why I didn't want to be an artist, my mom's a phenomenal artist. She painted watercolors of each of my children, and they are hanging in my front doorway. But she's a phenomenal watercolorist. So it's interesting. And maybe that's why I didn't want to be an artist, because I just was like, I cannot compete with that at all. So I love it. Susie says, my daughter would swing for hours and dream up entire movies in her head. I love that. So good. And Leah's saying, my mom made our Halloween costumes as a kid, fun, full on amazing costumes, like Little Mermaid for my sister and Star Trek uniform for me. I have to ask you guys this. Did you guys sew or make your Halloween costumes for yourself or your kids? Elise is like, no.
Kind of. I took one year I took a jacket that I got at a thrift store and kind of shortened it for my son and turned it into a Joker jacket, and then found some really crazy pants at the thrift store. And yeah, so he was the Joker. It was a cute costume too.
That's so awesome. Cassie, how about you?
It's kind of mix and match. It just depends on whatever the kiddo wants. Like some years we make it, some years we don't. I made a couple of mine. My most memorable was I was a washing machine.
A washing machine?
Yes.
That is so awesome. That's a crazy costume.
It was.
We've done mix and match over the years as well. I will say I'm less doing it now, but when my two girls were really little, one year Siri, my oldest daughter Siri, her name is Siri, she wanted to be an iPhone, and for everybody.
Fitting.
It was really quite brilliant, actually. So I made her a box iPhone. She had her head in it so that everyone could talk to Siri. So that's probably our cleverest costume year. So anyway, pretty fun. I love this. Katie says, yes, every year I couldn't afford store-bought for 6 kids. Yeah, I mean, for reals. Susie says, I made costumes for entire 4-year-old pre-K play sharks, for play sharks, dolphins, octopus, and crabs. That's serious stuff right there. Christine said, yes, my first sewing challenge was making my friend a panda bear. I was a brown bear, my first sewing project. So good. So good. Maybe Susie, at some point, I'll show you guys these watercolors by my mom, or she sends a birthday card to my kids every year on their birthday, and it's always a different watercolor. So she does scan them in, so she doesn't send the original because she has so many grandkids, but it's always a new watercolor from her. And she's done some beautiful things, lots of animals like giraffes and elephants. And anyway, they're gorgeous. Okay, our next question is, what is the weirdest thing you believed as a kid? Anybody just like excited to do this one first? Elise is like, Elise, I didn't know.
I can't think of anything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know something I thought of as a kid. Because I grew up in the 60s. I was a child in the 60s. And that was back when television, was kind of new. I mean, not real new, but we didn't have a television for a long time. So when we got a television, I actually thought the people were in there. And if I went up to the TV and talked into the speaker, they would hear me.
That's a really good one, Judi. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so good. Cassie?
So being a farm kid, I had a very rural upbringing for the first part of my childhood, but we would go visit my dad's extended family, his brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles, and my grandparents in the Chicagoland area. And usually, they lived in the suburbs. We'd drive into the city and go to a museum or something. And I used to think, and this was back in the day, before like the electronic toll passes, that all the roads to the city, you had to have like a very specific amount of like quarters and nickels and dimes to drive on the roads. And if you didn't, you would just like be forever stuck behind that gate. And so when we would do our family trips up, I'd always like go to my piggy bank and put lots of change in my bag just in case so we wouldn't get trapped on the roads.
Oh my gosh, that feels really real though, because like think of how literal we are as kids. Like, and that would have been a real fear, I think, if I had that, because I would have been like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I have the exact amount of dimes and nickels and pennies.
Yeah.
Were you like that?
Yeah. I had memories of my uncle being like, oh, I need another quarter. And like digging through like, the car still had ashtrays in them back then, like digging through the ash, trying to find the exact change.
Oh my gosh, that's good. Elise, nothing crazy and weird?
None that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some. I just can't. My mind's blank right now.
Well, I'm loving like all the comments on this, you guys. Like, well, first of all, Becky just said, going back to the Halloween costume, she said, my son's name is Noah, and one year we made him an ark to wear along with the animals, which is such a cute idea. Leslie says, Jaws could get me through the floor. I could totally see as a kid thinking that, like, because it's just so nerve-wracking, like watching that movie. Katie says that Freddie lived under my bed. Terrifying. That would be terrifying. Susie says, I believe my best friend's family were aliens. They would switch on their robot voice alien personas and totally full gullible me. That's amazing. Like that they played along to that. Wow. Okay, this one is crazy. Leah says Arby's meat was elephant because they had a collab with Barbar the elephant. I doubt that was Arby's intent, but like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That is like your brain like putting two things together. It's so crazy. Mary says, when I was very young, some friends and I thought if you ate dog food, you could run faster. Someone had to have told you that, Mary, because that is just taking you for a ride. She says, crazy, I know. Susie says, my best friend's mom told us if we ran around yard 20 laps every day for 20 years, flapping our arms, we would be able to fly. We did that every night. That's just mean. That's so mean. Oh, Amy says, I still think fairies and gnomes are real. I want to believe that as well. That's so good. Sarah says, we had mice in our attic, but my dad told us they were purple alligators. For some reason, that was a little scary. That is so cute. That's so cute. Another Sarah said, eating carrots gave you better vision. I'm sure my parents told us that, so we just eat more veggies. So good. Really, really good. I couldn't think of anything. Well, no, actually, this is not necessarily weird, but it relates to Judy's. So we had a black and white TV. You guys, I'm only 45, okay? But like we were a little behind the times. So we had a black and white TV and we watched it. And I think when I was 6 or 7, I went to a friend's house and I watched Sesame Street over there. And I ran home and told my Mom, did you know that Oscar is green? Like I was totally like my brain was blown that Oscar was green because that whole time I just thought he was gray. So pretty crazy. So good. Okay, so you guys, we are going to, first of all, I would love for you to get to know these ladies even more. So we're going to talk about what they're doing now, okay, because they're Design Suite alumni, what they're doing now, and how they became designers or doing the thing that they're doing right now, which is really fun. So we're going to go around and talk about that. And then we're going to do a bonus round like we did the last couple of sessions, and we're going to do some questions that you guys here in the chat with us can do and answer. Okay, so we'll do the multi-choice questions that are super fun about design. Elise, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Oh, good. I asked, like, what are you doing now? Like, what are you working on now? And like, how did you get into design? You know, what was like, because Elise is interesting because she's a photographer. So she's done a lot of cool creative stuff. So maybe talk a little bit about that and how you got started in that.
Well, I guess it was, so actually when I went to school, I've been back and forth many times because I changed my career. I started out as a teacher, and then I went back and then I got an associate's in graphic design. So I always kind of liked to do that design thing. And then like when I became a stay-at-home mom and you go like to the World Wide Web and you just go down rabbit holes and then you find like people teaching it and you're like, oh, I can learn that. And that's originally how I found you, because I found you before you had your son, because I remember you being pregnant with him. And then
that was when I was the creative director at Cardabella.
Yeah,
it was like a real long time ago because he's
but I found you through, I think her name was Jessica.
Oh, Jessica Sprague. Yes,
that's it. Yes. So that's where I found you. And then from there I just kind of kept taking classes and learning. And what I love doing now is I still love making patterns on the iPad, whether it's through Procreate or Affinity Designer. And I still use Affinity, Adobe Illustrator as well. So just doing that. And I'm liking doing the print on demand And I had updated some patterns to spoon flower, and it took me about a year, but I did finally get some sales. So it was like, that was exciting. And that was like last month. So it works. Sometimes your journey's a little bit longer than you would like, but it does help. And just keep sharing your work and you'll just keep going.
I love that so much. Thanks, Elise.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie.
So we talked about earlier, I was home with my kids, and as they got bigger, I was really craving not being in the workforce, and really wanted to get back out there. But I also knew I really had to have a flexible schedule. And I had just sort of a bunch of paths crossed, and I had been playing around with having an Etsy shop. And at the same time, I was on a board of a nonprofit. We were having an event, and we wanted the water bottle stickers for the event. And the price quote we got on the stickers we wanted was like crazy. My local library happened to be doing an Inkscape training that week. And I was like, I'm just going to go to this. And I knew in their makerspace, they had a big professional printer that could print on the vinyl sticker paper. And I was like, let's see if I think I can figure this out. Like, I had played around enough with design software before where I think I can figure this out. I took the class, I figured it out, I made the stickers, and I was kind of like, got some wind in my sails. And then I bought Design, Profit, and Prosper, Carina. And that's how I found you, as I bought your book, because I'm a nerd and I find everything through books.
That's so awesome. I'm glad you found me through my book, because most people find me through like an ad somewhere or whatever else. But I do love when people find me through the book, because then they're like, oh, I get like what this lady's really about. Because the book really does give you like my like base models that we teach from.
Yep. And then I went to design boot camp, and the rest is history.
That is so funny. I love that. I had no idea about that, Cassie.
Oh,
really
yeah.
Cool. What are you doing now? Mostly, I know life has been crazy for you, because we just talked about it before we.
I'm so appreciative that I went through Design Suite, and I took that year to really build my skills, because I did not come into the program as a designer. So I was doing a lot of skill building that year. And now I have that skill set, and life has been crazy, and I haven't been able to, I've been time poor, so I haven't been able to put in the amount of hours that I want. But even though the faucet hasn't been on all the way, there's been a little bit of a trickle. So I've been working throughout. So I have a lot of SVG files out there, especially in the Silhouette Design Store. That's mostly what you see behind me is mostly what I've been working on.
Love it. So good. Really good, Cassie. Judi.
My turn. Well, I've always been, kind of artistic. Like I said, I made clothes for my troll dolls, and I used to I loved horses, so I draw horses all the time when I was a kid. I even tried writing a book about horses and illustrating the book. So that was kind of interesting. It wasn't a very good story, but I enjoyed drawing the horses. And my mother was really artistic. She designed carpets, which is kind of a different field to be in. But so I grew up with someone that was making money with their art. Although my father discouraged it, I knew it was possible. So, I didn't pursue it for a long time, and I went the traditional, corporate job route for a long time, but always kind of, dabbling with this and that. And a few years ago, I found another gal who was teaching surface pattern design. And I did not know Adobe Illustrator at all, but she was very kind and gentle, and explained things, simplistically, just enough to, so knew what to do to get a pattern done. And I really liked it. So I kind of dabbled around with that. And then I saw you on, must have been a Facebook ad. And I just really was drawn to you, your personality being so, happy and, you're pretty charismatic, really. And you seemed very knowledgeable. And I took your boot camp. And what drew me to it was really the business side and the making money side, which is what I had been missing. I really wanted to be creative, but I also wanted to make money. So,
well, and you really had that background if you saw your mom making money from the carpet, designing carpets. Like, you knew it was possible. Not everyone knows it's possible.
Yeah, especially when you have your other parents saying, no, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Even though, I mean, it was his business with the interior designers, which is pretty, interior designers are pretty artistic too. I mean, they design the whole interior of a house. So I don't quite understand, but
I kind of understand it, because I will say that, so in our house, we're very much like, we want you to do all the creative things. So I have a daughter who's in animation. I have a daughter who's in fiction writing. We'll see what the boy does, but we're very like, let's do all the things. But on my end, I see people who make it and people who don't make it. And I think your dad, I suspect, with interior designers, probably saw some of the worst case scenarios, right? And so he was like, I'm going to shield my daughter from that, creative loss or whatever. I think that parents do it out of protection mode, truly. But it's always, I think it's always it's not a good thing, is what I'm going to say, because if you don't have the chance to pursue it, then you always wonder, which is why so many of you guys come to me. We always say it's the encore career for the people who come to us, because they've all done one other career and then they come to us and then they go, I finally want to do this like creative thing I've been wanting to do my whole life. And then they're successful at it or able to make it a side hustle or whatever. And we're like, I mean, you could have been doing this the whole time, but you were so discouraged.
It feels like wasted time, really, spending time doing something that really was not enjoyable, what wasn't my heart. But I'm glad that I found it now, really glad. So,
Yeah.
And you are so knowledgeable. I feel really proud to be able to say that Carina Gardner is my mentor.
Oh, thanks, Judi. I'm very proud that all three of you have gone through Design Suite and have done it in such different ways. And that's the other thing about Design Suite. You'll find that no shoe fits all. Like, everybody's doing it a little different. Everyone's doing it in a different part of their lives. Everybody ends up in a different trajectory with their career, some slow, some fast. And I think that's a really powerful thing about the program, because we are so adaptable and flexible to whatever you guys want to do, which is really, really great. Oh, thanks, Amy. Amy says same. So good. Okay, you guys, we are going to end with a bonus pop quiz round. This will be really fun. If you guys have something to write on, that'll be the easiest. So you can show me your letter. Those of you in the chat, we want you to participate in this. And this would not be a pop quiz if we didn't start with fonts. So I have a font question for you guys, and we'll do this pretty quick. We'll wait for Cassie to come back. She's getting some paper and pen. And those of you guys in the chat, if you just have your little chat comment ready so that we can go. All right, ready? This is called Font Fight. Font Fight. If fonts were people, which one would ghost you after a first date? Right? Ready? A, Times New Roman. B, Impact. C, Jokerman. Or D, Arial Narrow. If fonts were people, which one would ghost you after your first date? A, Times New Roman. B, Impact. C, Jokerman. Or D, Arial Narrow. Oh, I love it. Cassie's like, I know exactly. And Elise says C. Cassie says D. Judy's still thinking about it. I like Becky. Becky says C in the chat. Christine says D in the chat. Judy went with D. Cassie and Judy, why'd you guys go with D?
I just know Ariel's not going to let me be part of their world.
I love it. So
I
good.
don't know. I'm not familiar with Jokerman, so and Impact is very strong.
Sturdy and strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking the question might be more about like an actual fight, and I would choose Impact to win because he would just sit on you. But ghosting me on my first date, yeah, I might go with Ariel as well. I love it. Okay, next one. Creative block cure, you guys. Susie says A, too stuck for me. She's calling out Times New Roman. I love it. Creative block cure. What's the best way to break a creative block? A, take a nap. B, eat snacks. C, scroll Pinterest for inspiration, aka for 4 hours. Or C, cry into your sketchbook. So what's the best way to break a creative block? A, take a nap. B, eat snacks. C, scroll Pinterest for inspiration, aka for 4 hours. Or D, cry into your sketchbook. Cassie says B. Elise and Judi both say C. Of course, like I think all of these are really difficult. I'm curious, what do you guys really do for creative block?
I just have to step away.
That's usually what I do. Walk away.
Just walk away for a moment, do your real life, and then come back to it.
Yeah.
I think movement,
Fold
like
the laundry or
walk, go lift some weight, something like that.
Yeah, I love that. Movement, taking a walk, love it. Colleen says D, cry and then journal. That's so good. Lots of C's, you guys. Scrolling on Pinterest. Christine says A and B. Sarah M says eat snacks. Even if I don't get inspiration, I get a snack. I love it. So good. Well, that's kind of like walking away, right? Like you just got to walk away. And sometimes my excuse is food. That's good and bad, right? Amy says sit outside with the birds. I love it. Christine says really be. Yeah. Colleen says the artist way. I do think Julia Cameron's artist way is very, very helpful for some of this, you guys, like artist dates, journaling, right? Susie says just start doing something, anything. Yeah, I agree with that. Like sometimes I know it sounds a little crazy, but kind of force your way through, like, because you just like start doing something and then inspiration kind of hits. Like, this is what it's going to be. I love it. So good. Stock photo struggles. This might be an AI photo struggle. Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in a stock photo? I'm going to leave this one open. I do have letters for it, but I haven't seen any of these things that they're giving me, which makes me really curious if these are things that show up with AI. Have any of you guys seen some weird AI or weird stock photo stuff? I would love to hear it. All right, Elise, tell us what have you seen?
For a weird stock photo?
Yeah, or AI photo, just anything kind of weird.
I just like, I mean, because there's always memes, so they always seem to be so creative. And recently there was a, because I'm in Philadelphia area, so there was a Philadelphia Phillies player, or there was a game and somebody caught the ball and some woman went over and took the ball from a little boy. But the little boy, whoever hit the home run and whose ball he didn't get, he came over and he invited them back. He gave them a signed bat, and then somebody put the lady in there and she was like, "That's my bat too." And it was just so funny that like I was cracking up. You have to look it up because it happened this weekend and it's just like was all over the internet and it just was really funny.
That's so funny. How about you, Cassie?
I think I've seen some like, like failures where it's like they're trying to like approximate the person writing, and it starts off looking like some English letters and then it just turns into like mush basically, and it's just like this is what a computer thinks text looks like, but nobody can read it.
That's amazing. So good. How about you, Judi?
Well, I always think about that one commercial with Matthew McConaughey where he's walking down the street and his feet are on backwards. But I was looking for, I wanted to do a frog, and I was looking on the internet for frogs, and I got on Amazon and found a coloring book. I thought, coloring books are just outlines. Perfect. Well, I started looking at the pictures of these frogs, coloring books for kids, and these frogs had 6, 8 legs. And I thought, how disturbing. The poor children.
The poor children, Judi says. That's so good. That is funny. Christine just said a pic you showed recently with burgers as muffins. Yes, I did do that. So I do this marketing for creatives challenge. It's like a 3-day thing. And I love using Firefly for the slides for that because I can usually get something approximate. Well, the one I did was like a big lunch buffet with anyway, it had muffins, but the muffins looked like burgers, but kind of muffins. They were like super messed up looking. Like you would never eat them. Like, so gross. But I still showed it because I was like, this is approximation. I am not going to work with AI to get this correct because it's really difficult to. Like if I was like, please make all the food look real, it wouldn't. It couldn't. It doesn't, Susie just said, I've seen a lot of videos lately, AI where they're walking and suddenly start skipping for one step as to correct which leg goes first. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, so good. Colleen says hysterical man with folded arms with feet for hands. Oh yeah, just like all of those things. So crazy. All right, we're going to do one final one, and then we'll be done for today, you guys, until tonight. This is a really good one because I was just talking about this with someone else. This is when a client says, make it pop, what do they really mean? A, add neon pink. B, make the logo bigger. C, add glitter. D, no one knows. It's a mystery. Tell us in the chat what you guys think, because clients love to say, make it pop. If I could have a penny for that. A, add neon pink. B, make the logo bigger. C, add glitter. D, no one knows. It's a mystery. Cassie went straight for D. Straight for D. I like all the D's in the chat. Yeah, D, Elise. The other one is make the logo bigger. I feel like, yeah, D. You guys, it is fascinating to me. If you're not a designer and you don't understand, you really literally don't have the vocabulary to tell someone how to make it better. You just know what looks better because of everything you've seen out there. So it is difficult. Susie says C, add glitter. Yeah, I wish. Have you guys all watched the Barbie Dreamhouse episode where they're looking for glitter? They keep finding gold and all these other things, and they're so angry because they're looking for glitter. So good. So good. All right, you guys, we're going to end today. If you have been loving the Design Suite Maker Conference, please go and download all the freebies. We want you to have them. So if you're like, okay, it's after the fact, or this is the last day and you're just seeing this now, go to designsuitecourses.com/maker2025. You can literally go and get a free ticket. It will get you into the event community. You will see the links there for today's presentations. You'll also see the link there for all the freebies that we've given, which is like 35 plus. It's a lot of fantastic freebies. Go grab them and go watch all the presentations. Now, if you're watching this way after the fact, we do have an all access pass that gives you a lifetime access. So you can watch these and you can get access to a lot of different things. So if you're looking for that, it will be on our design event page. You have to go to carinagardner.com and click on events there, and you can go get access to that after the fact. All right, we are going to end with, if you guys are like, oh, I really want to go see Judi, Cassie, Elise's stuff, where can you go to find their stuff? So Judi, will you tell everyone where you would have them go to find you?
I would have everybody look me up on Linktree. You could go to Linktree. That's linktr.ee they do it weird, /J Marie Design Studio. And you could find all my links right there.
Perfect. That's awesome. Cassie?
You can just go to benchmarkboutique.com and you can find links to all the places I am.
Perfect. Benchmarkboutique.com, guys. And then Elise?
You can just go to Etsy and search Elise Celluci, or you can go to my website, elisecelluci.shop.
Awesome. Perfect. Guys, go check them out, see what they're doing. We love our alumni members and love seeing what they're doing. It is such a cool thing to continue to connect over the years and see what people are creating and doing with all of their design knowledge. Designers, will you guys stay here for a second? We're going to close out this chat, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you guys all later. Bye, guys.
Bye.